Hi, my name's Kyle, and welcome back to my channel. So today it's like a rainy, chilly day out, and so I'm in a nice big sweater, and I thought it would be fun to do like a nice little like cozy sketchbook tour, um, type video, and I don't really use a sketchbook, which I said in my last video, and if you haven't seen that video, I will link it in the description below. But I do have a sketchbook, but I don't really use it much. I've only filled out the first probably like 10 or 15 pages. Here's a like sketch and marker coloring of some peppers. So it's full of things like that. But what I thought would be fun is if this would be kind of like a digital sketchbook tour in my like for my Procreate library, and also kind of like an art journey vlog. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to see the progression of like my art throughout like the past 3 or 4 years. I think 2023 I started taking stuff really seriously. Um, and I was gonna start like doing vlogs like this and like taking art more seriously um, at like the end-ish, like September of 2023, so about a year ago. And then my son was born, and we adopted him, so it was kind of just like a sudden type thing. We didn't know that it was happening until like the day it happened. So I think all of that kind of like stunted that process a little bit because I just had so much other responsibilities, obviously, with him being born, and just like other priorities, obviously, at the time. But I think I really started taking art more seriously in 2023, and trying to focus on like building some sort of like foundation for my art and like style, and like really trying to work at it, and like practicing or drawing every day, every few days, and really like doing that for. And I've been doing that for like probably a year and a half or almost 2 years now, I think, where I've been drawing a lot more consistently, and I think I've seen a huge improvement on my art like over the past year or two, as opposed to like the first 2 or 3 years where I kind of just like didn't take it seriously for a while. Hi, this is Editing Kyle, and I just want to put in this like little disclaimer before this all starts, because you'll see in this video I'm kind of like debating when pieces were made, and I think that at the time I thought there was like a lot of pieces from 2020 and 2021 in this like art tour, and it turns out that most of it was actually from 2022, and some even from early 2023. And in the beginning, a lot is actually from late 2020. I got my iPad in 2020, and then I think I just like stopped creating art in 2021, like literally the whole year, pretty much. So a lot of it's just not from that time period. So basically, I think it goes from like the fall of 2020 to almost the summer of 2022, which is wild. But I just didn't make art for that long. But anyway, I just want to put that in so it kind of clears the timeline up now. And then also, I just wanted to say that a lot of the stuff I show in this are like my attempt at like a master's study, where I just basically am trying to replicate a piece of work that I really like, to try to understand like the style and how to color and how to like just draw in general. Since this is just the beginning of my art journey, pretty much. And obviously not trying to say like these are my own creations or anything. And a lot of that was in the form of like a tutorial. But some of it was just I found some pieces that I really liked, and I'm gonna like obviously credit those pieces and show them. Um, and then I just try to like replicate that to kind of again like get the style down and just like learn. But yeah, I just want to put that out there. Yeah, so with all of that, let's get going. I think the first thing I ever did was this drawing of like this jellyfish, and I think it was like from Lisa Bardot, maybe like a tutorial she was doing or something, because it kind of looks like that. Like it looks kind of cool, but there's a lot of problems, I think. And this isn't going to be like me critique my own art, but I think me being the artist, I'm like obviously looking at it a little more harshly than a lot of people. But I think this is pretty cool for like the first thing I ever did on an iPad and digital art, especially because I don't think I'd done like much art like actually for probably like 15 years, because I don't think I had done art since like high school. So like 10 or 15 years. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. I think it was Lisa Bardot that did the tutorial, because I think that these are from her as well. And I think even these like little circle things were hers as well. Maybe, maybe not. I also designed all these like VTubers kind of for my brother. He didn't I think he didn't end up using them, or maybe he did like once or twice on a Twitch stream. And they're like fine. This one is extremely creepy. But he said he wanted them to kind of look like the Gorillaz characters, like that band. And I think that's kind of like I think I was drawing that here, kind of like to try to get like that inspiration. And so I think he liked them. I mean, they're weird and they have a lot of like issues with them, I think, and like the line work is like not great, which I think is like a theme you'll see throughout the first like few, or honestly, like 2 or 3 years of like me doing art, is that I don't like take line work seriously, or like I don't realize that line weight is a thing, or like my lines are very rigid, or like just don't really work well. Also, like I don't know why I thought like this was okay that I could just like have stuff outside the lines, but whatever. Like I think one of the first things I remember doing also was this set of lips. Um and I like really was really proud of it because it looked really realistic, and I think I thought like the highlights looked really cool, it looked really glossy and wet. And I still think it looks good, but obviously it's really like blurred and smudgy. So I think there's no real definition. So it's kind of hard to see what's going on, like beyond. If you zoom in, like from far, it looks good. Same with this eye. Like when you zoom in, it doesn't look great, but from afar, it looks okay. This is also one of the first things I remember ever doing. It's a Lisa Bardot thing as well. She kind of taught you how to draw this girl like blowing in the wind. I think it looks pretty cool. It's very like her style. I think this is one of also the first things I remember doing, and it was kind of like a follow along tutorial thing with Angry Miko. And I remember thinking like, wow, this looks like really cool. And now going back in, obviously it's very smudgy and blurred, and the strokes aren't very like intentional or defined, and they don't really do much for helping like, your eye designate different areas of the piece very well. So I think there's a lot wrong with it, but I think at the time I thought it was really cool. I also then like kind of I think I was trying to figure out like what kind of style I'd like to do, because then I did this piece which is very different. It was Likelihood Art who was doing this on YouTube, and I think I just followed along with her drawing this and tried to draw a similar thing. Some guy in Hawaii or some tropical place. I just think it's Hawaii because I just watched someone go to a Kawaii Con on a vlog. But yeah, so I did a lot of these like watercolor paintings in the beginning too. I remember thinking like this fox was really cool. I really liked it. I was really proud of it. And I think I thought like I'm gonna make this series of paintings um, for like a kid's room. So it was probably around the time that like we were thinking about like trying to start the adoption process. So my son's adopted, and I think that like I was I'm gonna have like this like grid of like these different pieces, and you can see here I have like a raccoon. I don't know why a raccoon would be like a fun thing to have in a kid's room, but like a bunny, a deer, this fox, and I was gonna put like them in like kind of like a square grid and just have the different watercolor type pieces there, but I'm glad I didn't because I don't like them now. And then I also did this like 100 faces thing that people like was really popular back then, where I tried to do all these faces. I only did like 9 of them, so I clearly didn't do 100. But I think some of them look kind of cool. Like I love this one. I did it in like a hard round brush instead of like a pencil or like a sketching type brush, and I think I just did different brushes for everyone in different colors too. But I really like how this turned out. Even now, I think it looks pretty cool. Um, so that was like fun to do. I'm glad I did this. It kind of helped with like trying to get proportions right a little bit, and just like trying to like figure out how to draw. Really, at this point, is like what I was doing, like trying to figure out how to make lines consistently, and like how to shade, and how to um, use like shapes for defining different areas and stuff, which I'm still learning. So yeah, there's still but I also got really into trying to do landscapes. So I think I was like again trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. And so I loved this piece that I found online. I was trying to like replicate it, and it was like this piece of like it's like a castle, like a fort on the edge of a cliff near the ocean, and it was very like a muted oranges and blues and grays, and I really liked it. I thought it was really pretty, and I like think I did okay, like kind of like for the time. But I mean, obviously, like these areas, like there's just like a lot going on. Like the strokes, like don't really add much to the piece. They kind of just look um, like very undefined and just like not good. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be done to that. But I think at the time it was fine. I also did this piece that was from I think it was from Genshin Impact. It was just like a screenshot of like a place I was in the game. But I don't know. I still think this looks kind of cool. Like I think there's some aspects that I really like. I still don't do a lot of environmental pieces, but I think there's a lot of like really pretty environmental pieces, and I think like they evoke a lot of emotion, which is why I wanted to try to do them. And there was a period of time where I went through a big like stretch of time where I did a lot of James Juliet art like tutorials on YouTube, and you'll see that later. Probably not in this video. Probably I'll have to do like a two-part one because I have a lot of art that I didn't realize I had. So yeah, I also got really into like this idea of like creating a webtoon or like a comic for myself. And I'm still into that idea, but just like not as much as I was back like then. But anyway, so I was really into like this idea and trying to like create this webtoon for myself in my life. And I think it was like my college life. I think I even like created this like panel, which I don't think I ever finished. Obviously, it doesn't look great. But it was like me like trying to go through like, moving day. I think moving in and like dropping a box on my foot, and then I like want to do this like cute like little that style they do in comics and very anime type comics where they just have like a very zoomed out chibi figure, and I don't know. So I that was like kind of my whole idea for that. So I think I was trying to like figure out like how to draw like a style that I liked, and I still am trying to figure that out. But this is a piece that Kasem did on stream. That was a kind of like a follow along thing. It's his like very traditional like cell shaded animated blocky type characters like from Castlevania, that type of show. And he's really good at it, and it's really like really impressive. But I just it's like not my style, I don't think. I was really into this comic at the time, or webtoon. I think it's called like I forget what it's called, but it's something with blooming with you or in I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I was really into that. And it's a really good series. But I think I tried to kind of like style my art after that a little bit, and I ended up really liking this like these ones, and I think I like kept trying to draw them and I couldn't consistently draw them over and over again, so I was just getting frustrated. And I think that's kind of like what led me to like quit art my first time, or like kind of give up for like a few months or however long it was after I first got my iPad, because I just like couldn't like I couldn't consistently draw what I wanted to draw, and I couldn't like see myself improving fast enough, so I just kind of gave up, which I definitely regret doing now. But at the time I just like didn't feel like I was making progress. And so it's hard when you like, you feel like that. I think I came back and I started doing more like of this type stuff where I was doing this anime-esque style. Um, and like you can see like I did a lot of like Sailor Moon stuff. This is Sailor Saturn, and she looks like her what's I don't know why her hair is so big and her eyes obviously like this style has like big eyes, but like why does she have such a tiny mouth and such big eyes? I don't know. And it's like again, like the line work on this is like very just not good. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I mean, I think a lot of it was like these aren't like finished pieces, but like even then, like I could have just at least cleaned it up a little bit. And in the same vein, I was still doing like Sailor Moon stuff, but I like had this at the time this background on my phone that was like a male version of Sailor Pluto, and that like inspired me to do my own versions of that. So I did this with Sailor Mercury, and I was like really proud of this, and I still am like proud of that I was able to do this because I think it looks cool. Again, I think like I wish I had cleaned up the line work, but I think it looks good in general. I think there's like some refinement that needs to be done. Like I mean, I just don't like how it's shaded a lot of places, and um, Sailor Mercury has really weird poses, so I think like the pose is just like even though it looks strange, I think it's probably honestly like not too off the reference because I think she just poses really weirdly, like no human ever would. And then I tried to do other ones and I hated them. So I like really did not like how this one turned out. This is supposed to be Sailor Mars. I think it looks really this one looks really stiff and really like blocky, and there's just a lot of problems. Like I don't know what is happening. Like what is happening in like his pants and stuff. So that sounds really weird. So yeah. Yeah, and then I did like I think this is around Christmas 2021 or 2022. I don't know which. I'm thinking it's 2022, honestly, because I think I did take a really big gap between like my times of doing art, because this is a picture I was doing of Zhao. Um, Maybe it was 2021 then, because I think that game came out in 2020 or 2021. Genshin Impact. Like, I think this is just me like kind of sketching and just like practicing shading and drawing and coloring. And then this was like a tutorial again from, I think it was Angry Miko also, who was drawing like this spell book, and I thought it was really cool. And I remember doing this at my parents' house during Christmas break. Okay, I just looked it up. This was actually, because I was like, I remember sending pictures of this to people. This was 2022, so I like must not have done anything really in 2021. I think all the stuff I just showed, I kind of like did over the course of like end of 2020 and beginning of 2021. And then I think I just like stopped doing art for like half a year or a year almost. Um, because this is like literally Christmas 2022. So like that's crazy. Anyway, back to this. I really like how it turned out. I think like the metal looks cool. Like zoomed in, it needs like, I mean, it needs refining, but like zoomed out, I think it looks pretty cool. I think that like the actual book itself looks kind of nice, especially for like how little I think I had done art at this point. Because I think like, again, like I didn't do too much between 2020 and 2022, honestly. And then I don't know what this is. Like I literally have zero idea what this is. I like, yeah, I don't even know why I have this saved. So we'll finish that. Okay, and then this okay, so these are like 4 sketches, or actually just finished drawings really, of like a tattoo design that I wanted to get, and I actually did end up getting it, and it like literally is this. The artist just like shaded it in a little more. Um and but like it's based in, I think this one. It's like Sailor Mercury's like wand or whatever you call it. And I also at the same time was doing like, I started like trying out different styles, and one of the styles I did was pixel art, and so I also did like her wand in like a pixel art style, which I think would be like a really cool like sticker sheet with all like the different wands and other Sailor Moon like symbols and things like that on it. But I don't know like how to print pixel art very like that it would come out not blurry. I don't think. I haven't really tried, so maybe it just would work, but I don't think it would because I think it's really small. So we'll have to see. I'll figure that out. Also, in the pixel art realm, I did this picture, which was me drawing my character from Elden Ring after I beat the game. And, and he's like sitting on this like throne, and the ending I got was like the Duskborn ending or something. I thought that was a pretty like fun piece. And then these grapes, this is definitely 2022 Christmas time, or this is New Year's, because I remember this is New Year's Eve, and we had a bowl. I had a bowl of grapes sitting on my nightstand because I was upstairs in bed. We were watching TV, like waiting for like the countdown to New Year's. And like at New Year's, we eat like 12 grapes, and so this was the grapes, and I was drawing them. I guess before I ate them. I think here I've just like started some, just trying different styles out. I was doing another anime one. This is like one of my like personal trainer that I had at one point. He really wanted to be like a Demon Slayer character, so I was like, okay, I'll turn you into one. And it like kind of looks like one, but I didn't really ever finish it, so I never gave it to him. So, and then here are some like just like some sketches that I did. This was like for a birthday card. And it was kind of akin to this card I did earlier, which I forgot to show, but it's this wasn't a birthday card. It was a like happy new baby card or congratulations. People don't say happy new baby. But it was like a congratulations card for their daughter, and I thought it was really cute. And it was inspired by this other card that I did, this pig card that I did. Like this was probably 2021 summer that I did this, and it was for my mom's birthday, and her birthday's in July, so it had to have been around then. And I remember really like this is one of the first things I ever did that I like thought was really good, and I was really into like watercolor at the time, and I still do like watercolor stuff. I always have. I have 2 watercolor tattoos actually, and so I really like that style. And I remember thinking like, oh, this is really cool, and she thought it was really cool, and she hung it up. And now looking at it, like, yeah, I still think it's nice, but there's a lot of like, I don't know why. Again, like my line art is just like so not clean. And I think like at the time I was thinking like, oh, it's sketchy. It should be. That's how I want it to be. But I don't want it to be like this messy. And like my mom hung this up for everyone to see on our like wall somewhere, and now I am horrified that she did that because it looks not great. No, I think it looks pretty good even from afar too, and like printed it looked good. But I was really into like that idea for a while of like making cards. I made a bunch of other ones that you'll see later. I think in the summer of 2023 is when I made them. So it's like a way later in the sketchbook or this like Procreate tour. This is kind of when I was like trying to start like doing more like painterly type stuff, and I want to know if you can guess who this is. So pause the video if like you want to guess, and then put it in the comments because I think it'd be really fun. But I mean, I hope you can get it. So hopefully you guess, but if not, that's like obviously fine. Um, this is so it's Florence Pugh from Midsummer, and I like think it turned out okay. I think at the time I thought it was a lot better than I think it is now, which is like a theme obviously from this, which I think everyone who has art from before, like an older time, thinks. But like, there's just a lot of like blotchiness in her skin. Like, does she have some skin disease? I don't know. Maybe from that wreath on her head, I guess. Maybe she's having an allergic reaction. It kind of looks like she's blowing up from that or being stung by a million bees or something. But yeah, it looks okay. I think there's just like not a lot of definition in her face. Like just even like in like the crown, like there's just like it's just really messy. But I do like not hate it, so that's good. And then like there was a time when I after that when I like I think this is like a thing that Apple Cheeks drew for her like one of her Patreon or whatever she has to like give out stickers every month. And I think this is what this was or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, that looks really cute. I think I can hopefully do something like that." And I kind of did and it looks cutish, but hers looks better. And then I like tried to do like a bunch more. And you can see like I did a Shiba Inu one here based on my dog, and then I did like a turtle one, which is cute, but like they all like aren't super refined again. Like I think it's just like because I wasn't used to drawing at this point still, or it wasn't like, you know, I just was still learning, so I just like didn't make edges really refined and like I don't know, like the shading wasn't great. But those are kind of cute, and I like did that for a while. There's a hedgehog one up here. And then I kind of went back to this like the same thing I did with Florence Pugh. I was trying to make it like more like oil painty, but digital. And this painting was like the reference was like really cool because it was like him being illuminated by red light, and so it looked like this or similar to this, um, but obviously not as like like choppy and like I don't know. It just looks really messy again, but same with this. Like this was kind of the same idea of like it was trying to be like an oil type painting, and I don't know, like it looks really messy to me now, obviously. This is like a fun one that I did where like this is the reference was actually like him like being illuminated by like yellow, red, and blue light, and it looks pretty cool. I think like I think I was trying to make it like be chunky-ish, kind of like how I was doing with that one with the man illuminated in dark red light, where it's like kind of chunky and there's like gradients, but like it's not super smudged. I think I was like trying to stay away from like smudging it too much, but then I like it's not blended enough at all. So yeah, but I think it looks okay. I mean, it's kind of I don't know, it's like fun. Um, and then like got into this whole like phase of drawing animals. So before I go on and show the next few paintings, I first just wanted to show you like a few things that I did in the past that I forgot to show in 2020 and like maybe 2022, even early 2022, that were also animal paintings. And just kind of so you can get to see like the difference between when I first started doing art and at the kind of the beginning and kind of what I was able to do at this point. And I think the difference like it's pretty noticeable. So I thought it was just like a cool thing to share. And not like for commissions or anything because I like don't think I'd be able to take a commission honestly. Like I would just get too nervous that I wouldn't do it right. Like if I were going to sell something like sell art, it'd have to be something I've already done, like a sticker for example I already designed and someone can see what it looks like and then they can choose to buy it, as opposed to like them asking me do this and then I just would feel like very nervous that they wouldn't like it, and I just like it just wouldn't go well, I don't think. So I like don't think I would ever really do a commission for like someone that I didn't know. But I like how this turned out. I like the difference in color and stuff, although it's like very extreme. And like the different strokes and like the different brushes I used, I think it looks really like dynamic and fun. And it's cute. Like I think it looks like nice. Like I think the proportions are good and stuff too. I mean, I had like reference images for all these obviously, but I think I did a pretty good job. That was like fun. It was just like a fun piece, and I like did this like Andy Warhol like grid thing where I put like all the different like cats like or all the different like versions of her next to each other. Then I did like this one for my brother-in-law's dog, and it looks like I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. Like I don't know what is going on with his face. Like his eyes, they just look so creepy. Like it reminds me of, I don't know if you would know this reference, any of you, but um I don't even know when it was from, like the 2000s or early 2010s. There was this like orange on, I think it was YouTube or maybe even like a TV show or something, like Nick or something. I forget, but it was just like, I forget, some crazy orange or something, or I don't know. But it was this orange. I'll put a picture here of it. It was this orange with like human mouth and eyes, and like it would talk and say really weird things. It was really creepy, and it reminds me so much of that. Like I hate it so much. But I like did like dress him up in other stuff, like these glasses, and like um I like it a lot better. And there is a picture of him wearing glasses like this, I think, or like at least maybe he just has that chain on him in his picture that I used. I don't remember, but yeah, it's like I like that better. I then did like this picture for my friend, his dog, who's really beautiful. It's like an Australian Shepherd dog, I think. And he has really beautiful like icy blue eyes. They're really pretty, and so I really like how this one turned out. The fur is like, it looks nice. I still like it now. Again, like I think I could refine it more now that I have a little more experience, but I think it turned out really cute. And I like continued doing a lot of these. This one's like a dog, my dog, that lives with my parents now, but he is a mini schnauzer and he has this little mohawk, which is really cute. And he was at this like dog birthday party for my cousin's dog that was tie and tutu themed. So he has a tie and a tutu on, which is really weird. I remember thinking the tutu was really hard to paint, and I think it looks like fine. And I think like if you're gonna focus mostly on the face probably anyway, so you probably won't focus too much on that. I then like painted my parents' dog, and I think this one looks really like, it looks really really realistic to me for some reason. I don't know, like just her face and like the fur and stuff. She has really dark eyes like that and really big eyes, so I think it like turned out pretty well. I think this is my cousin's dog, the dog that had the tie and tutu birthday party. I think this next one though is like my favorite. I think this is my favorite one that I ever did. And it's of my friend's dog, and he was outside against like the blue sky. Although I'm pretty sure there wasn't just like completely blue sky against his background, so I think I just like didn't like paint part of it. Like I probably should have painted something here and here. But I think it turned out so well, and I think this is when I started like realizing that like I could use different colors in shadows, like for bounce light and like in like environmental light, and highlights too. I just think like it looks really dynamic and really like nice and really realistic, and I think like this kind of inspired me to a little bit more to use like different colors in like highlighting and shadows, and also just like in general. I think this helped with that a lot. So I really like this piece. I think it turned out really nice, and I still like it now. And then this piece is in the wrong album. This piece is like, I started doing, this is my dog. He's a Shiba Inu, and I started doing these like watercolor pieces that were similar, um, like similar concepts of like my friends' dogs. And I think the reason I did it was because I hated this one so much that I like redid a version of this with like this new watercolor technique that I was using at the time. And this is probably in like mid 2023, so like a year later. Um or no, sorry, mid 2024, like early 2024. It was recently. Um so it was probably like a yearish after, like months after, whatever. But I have a whole album of this that like I'll show you later, but it's like all like watercolory versions of my friend or my pets, not my pets, my friends' pets. It's all like watercolory versions of my friends and family's pets. This one looks really weird though, because like it looks like he's being like Thanos snapped or something, like he's dissolving away because I like have so much like of this like watercolor splatter. And I don't know, I like it, but I think that I did a little too much of that. I think though that like this is probably going to be the end for today. I think we've covered like a lot of stuff, and we didn't even cover everything like that I had at that point. Um, but I think it was really fun like going through this for me at least, because I like really showed me like how much I think I've improved over the years, and kind of reminded me like where I started. Because like I said, I think a lot of the reasons that I quit in the past for months at a time were because I just like didn't feel like I was improving, and I didn't feel like I was making art that I really liked. And I mean, I still feel like I don't make art that I like sometimes now, but at least I feel like I can get through it, and I know that I'll like, learn and improve like along the way if I keep going and keep practicing every, day or every few days. Um, so I think that like it's been nice to see that transition in myself and also like my art. Um, and yeah, I think that it'll be fun to like see the next few like sections of this because like I think there's a big transition now between like 2022, 2023, and like now. And I think I start filling up stuff a lot more, and there's a lot more like quantity of art like within a given period of time. So like I think the changes are like maybe more subtle, but like there's more of it to like see, which will be kind of cool because I think there was just like a lot of I like can't believe like that all that stuff I show was probably most stuff from like all the stuff I had from 2021 and 2022 almost, which is nuts because I feel like I just like didn't do any art back then, I guess. Which is weird because I think I like had this like really big passion to do it and I just like didn't, I guess. I don't know. Um, but anyway, so I think I'm going to end it there. So I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. I thought it was really fun to just like go through everything. And if you liked it, feel free to like the video. No worries if not. Please consider subscribing. I think it'd be really great to have you here. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you next time. Bye.